So England have kept the Ashes alive with a 3-wicket win over Australia in the third test. The Three Lions still trail 1-2 in the series, but the captain Ben Stokes has said that this is just the beginning of their comeback. Can they win the Ashes? That's what we're going to discuss in this live. Hello and welcome to WION Sports Extra. I am Nikhil Mathur and I'm joined by my colleague Vidur Kathuria, and our sports editor Digvijay Singh Deo is back.
Yeah, like England.
So, Pat Cummins, when he was asked this question, that who do you think has the momentum? They asked, is it England? He said no. The reporter asked why. He just said 2-1. Do you agree with him?
Of course, it's a 5-test series. England have gotten one win under their belt, 2 test matches to go. You would favour Australia to win one. See, for England to win the Ashes, they have to win the next 2. And I just think that the way Australia have played this Ashes series, I mean, even this game, when they were bowled out on the first day, they came close to winning it. I mean, there was a point 180 for 6 something odd. It was pretty. It was set up for a Headingley. Why always Headingley? You know, like Mario Balotelli. Why always Headingley? But I just think that momentum. Let's not put momentum there right now. It was a good test match. We've had 3 very good test matches. England, if they look back, they should realize that it was their sort of over-aggressiveness which cost them the first test. They could have been leading 2-1. So I just think it's set up perfectly. I'm still going with an Australian victory.
Do you agree?
Well, firstly, credit to England. They came back. This is now a 2-1 scoreline is more reflective of the cricket we've seen this series. So fair play to England. They came back, and I agree with Digvijay. The advantage is still with Australia. I don't see them losing 2 back-to-back tests, which England need to do. But I'll also make one point. If there was any English team which can do it, it's this one. They can obviously lose the next 2 matches badly.
Exactly. It can be 4-1.
It's so unpredictable. But the way they played this test match, and you look back, it wasn't just like, for example, in the previous test, it was just Ben Stokes who played that crucial knock. But this time they had 2 or 3 star performers. If you look at it, of course, in the first innings it was Ben Stokes with a crucial knock of 80, which probably you can say proved to be the difference. And they
like
were
a lead of 20
exactly
compared to a lead of 70.
Yeah,
I think
I just think, Vidur, I was watching it. That I was on leave. I was sitting in Puri and nothing much to do. It's very hot over there. But I'm telling you, the reason why England have won this test match is because of Mark Wood. I just think the way he shocked those batsmen
with his pace.
And just go back a couple of years, say 10 years, when you were much younger, probably not working with her. But Mitchell Johnson, what he did to England in Australia, when he bounced them out, I'm telling you, the kind of pace, there was one over I saw, in which Usman Khawaja,
in swing.
no, he just...
Bouncer
was coming and he was getting into the shot and he was hitting him instead of the batsman sort of meeting the ball and being in control. Which sort of you teach kids today, you have to be in control.
Time the bat,
That sort of just, I think that approach, England went in too aggressive at the start of the series. They didn't pick their best squad. They said, let's give Mark Wood time. I just think that they've unleashed him a bit too late.
Yeah, so as he said, the 3 changes actually that England made, Chris Woakes and Mark Wood, they had a huge impact. Even Moeen Ali.
Yes. They chased it down yesterday.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys.
And even Moeen Ali, he took, I think, Smith and Labuschagne in the first inning. So,
I mean, it paid off. They had to make some changes. Obviously, Anderson was not going to play all the 5 tests.
And his form also wasn't.
As Digvijay said, there is no substitute for raw pace. And when you have that kind of pace, it is bound to create some sort of fear in the batters. Even, as we saw Australia, probably, Usman Khawaja, he was in form, but he just couldn't get to grips with the raw pace of Mark Wood. And once those 5 wickets that he was full of confidence. And in both innings, Mark Wood scored runs also. 24 of 8 and then 16 of 8.
Yeah.
Hitting sixes, and they have, as we kept talking about, that they should not leave this baseball approach. And the way they played, Mark Wood definitely played baseball cricket. So,
hang on. I just thought Australia made a mistake. Okay? Once it got close, when there were 3 wickets down, I mean, they still had 20 to get, right? The field was too spread out. But there were easy singles on offer. I'm sitting and watching, I'm wondering, get the field in. You can't win this test match with 18 to defend 3 wickets. You can't win it by containing, right? You can only win by attacking. I think if it was Ben Stokes, he probably would have attacked.
Exactly. I think that Australia felt that Mark Wood and Chris Stokes were on the crease, they were not capable of getting those ones and twos, and they would just go for the big hits. But obviously it backfired.
Hey, listen. Okay, we're not sure about Mark Wood,
But
both is a pretty good hand. and
bowling
IPL and all
all-rounder.
that.
He had a test 100. He had the test 100 against his name. So
And especially when Stark was bowling so well. And he was getting the ball to talk, some balls were really shaping in and all that. I just felt that Cummins missed a trick. As a bowler, that's what really shocks me, that you're a bowler. You can see that your fellow bowler has got his tails up. He's running in hard. 18, 19. What's the point putting the field at the back? Get them all in, 3 slips. Gully. Yeah, they tried bowling short too. There was one ball which went above the slips and landed between third man, I think. Just get the field in and take the risk.
yeah, but also the pitch was, pretty even. It had swing on offer. Mitchell Marsh making a comeback. He scored a century. Like, Australia have a good problem to have now. Cameron Green and Mitchell Marsh. Who would you pick? So a good headache to have.
If you got a century at Headingley, you just pick him, right?
It's almost, unspeakable of dropping someone after you score a test century.
No, but when you have a situation like that, you always go, they're not your primary batters.
Yeah.
So you go, bowlers, sorry. You still have the Starks of the world, the Bolands of the world sitting there, right? And Cummins, who plays? Go with the best batter. Who's the better batter? And Green, to be fair, he got runs in the first test. But
Green has been Australia's one of top performers over the last few months. So they have and of course, even in the bowling department, I don't think you can drop Stark now after what he's done.
Chris Hazelwood sits.
Or probably Boland, because I think he didn't have that pace like when, as you said, Stark was bowling those bouncers, Cummins was bending his back. Scott Boland did have that pace. He would, and with England restricting runs is not going to work. Yeah. So probably Hazelwood coming in.
No, again, just going back to first innings, Stokes. Why bowled Todd Murphy? He just bowled 2 overs. Stokes took him to the cleaners. And those extra 40, 50 could have been the game.
But you have to give credit to Ben Stokes. I think he's the best batter to play with the tail. He has proved it in many occasions. Like even Head was in that situation. Like there were 7 downs, but Ben Stokes' ability to play that waiting game and clear the boundaries is just exceptional.
He was with an injury. So I was watching. Every ball he was just shaping to the leg and swinging.
We discussed this last week as well. He's almost superhuman the way he plays. He's the most clutch player in the game right now. When his team needs him the most, he performs, and it's extraordinary what he does. And once again, he wasn't the player of the match, but that 80 in the first inning when his team needed it, brilliant.
So we have 9 days gap.
But you got anything for us?
We will.
We have the poll, but
No questions?
no questions yet.
So let's take the poll then.
Yeah.
By the time you guys can comment on our Twitter handle and Facebook page.
This is really something.
What? Can England win the Ashes? Yes says
Were you the only
100%.
voter?
I think we must have closed the poll pretty early, because the poll says can England win the Ashes? 100% say yes.
Ooh.
So maybe
Never happened before.
maybe only English viewers.
Or maybe some technical glitch. I don't know. Are people going on threads and not on Twitter? Maybe that's why. But 9 days to go. Both teams have quite a bit of a time to to iron the loose ends.
Yeah.
I don't think there are any loose ends. I think Headingley has always been a difficult place to bat on, especially on that morose, grey, overcast conditions, right? That's what happened. Which is what I think Australia last test match, England won the toss and put them in, and Australia got those runs.
Yeah.
This time the bowlers delivered.
But I think we have seen 3 matches, and this is clearly one of the best of the best.
I think the quality of cricket is
just
Fantastic. Over the 3 tests, hopefully, and it's perfectly set up now. As a viewer, you would be thanking the stars that England won this test match, because 3-0 it would have been game over, and next 2 matches, would have been like practice
At
tests.
the beginning of the Ashes, when we set it up, I did say that the true test of England's approach would be what happens when they're 2-0 down. We didn't see them sort of throw in the towel like previous English teams have done. I mean, credit to them. They fought. It was, let's go down swinging.
Now we have one question: is baseball still working for England overall?
So I'm not sure. Well, I just think that baseball has to be flexible. That's my approach. That's where I go. That play the situation. Don't go in thinking, I have to go 10 and over the last 4 or 5 hours of the day. I'm just saying, play the situation. That's cricket.
Absolutely. And that's what Ben Stokes has been doing. Of course, and take a leaf out of Australia's book. They have, as we spoke about many times, the common sense and pragmatic. I feel like we've used those two words a lot in the past few. But that's what you have to do if you want to win test matches. And this time you saw they had, 3 or 4 star performers, and they will have to keep doing that, use that common sense if they want to win the series, which is winning 2 tests against the world test champions.
But I think I was seeing the match, and even Jack Crawley, he let go a few of the balls, which I think he didn't in the first 2 tests. So I think because no one has defined what baseball is, it's just an aggressive approach. So you can, calm down and assess the situation, as you guys said. So probably 2 interesting tests coming up.
Old Trafford next and the Oval, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
So yeah. What do we have on our show at 6:30 p.m.
Lots
IST?
of Wimbledon, and I've just sort of surfaced. So these guys will be holding fort. So lots of Wimbledon, lots of golf. Obviously the Headingley test. And anything else?
And
We have Formula 1, which is now turning out to be pretty boring, if I can use that word.
This is like Australia versus England before basketball.
Sixth straight victory for Max
So, 3-time
Verstappen.
world champion.
Yeah, 100%. But it's now only a matter of how many records he can break. 11th straight victory for Red Bull, record equaling 11th
year.
straight victory. Yeah, no,
Going back
from
to
last
last
year,
year.
going back to last year. So the march towards the title continues.
so that and much more on our show at 6:30 p.m. IST. Thanks for tuning in.